San Francisco Unified is, I think, one of the best public school systems in the United States. But when we really start to break that down by race and gender, we can see that we are really failing our African American and Latino students. I think that there will be folks in this race who will use those statistics as an excuse to shift our funding away from public schools and towards the privatization of our public education. Those aren't my values, and I don't believe that those are Harvey Milk values either. So as a Board of Education Commissioner, I will work to increase counseling opportunities for our LGBT youth, and I will work to make our schools safer so that each and every one of our students can not only survive high school, but graduate and go to college and launch successful careers. I'm not naive enough to think that I have all the solutions and that I'm going to come in here as a white woman and fix all of these problems. I think that I will continue to take leadership from African American community members, Latino community members. I don't want our schools to have to lay off teachers. I believe that we can, stay financially sound by investing in public education, and I support efforts to increase funding for schools through tax set-asides and tax increases on the wealthy. Teachers in San Francisco are some of the lowest paid teachers in the Bay Area, even though we're, one of the most expensive cities in the United States.
I started organizing pro-housing, pro-density renters. I came here in 2011 from St. Louis, and before that I lived in Philadelphia. And I just felt very frustrated because it felt obvious that there were way more people who want to live here than we have room for. And there wasn't a dedicated, consistent, pro-housing voice in the political scene. But one of the ways that cities are much wealthier than they realize is that cities own tremendous amounts of land, but they don't develop them with the aim of creating non-tax sources of revenue. But we could. Nothing is stopping us. Being an elected official is completely different. Doing this unity stuff is kind of easy because everybody, all my constituents agree. That's the whole point. That's why they're on my mailing list. When you are a supervisor, the only thing that your constituents have in common is geography. Neighborhoods that are mostly African American or Latino or whatever, gentrified. One of the things that happens is that property owners who are, more likely to be African American or Latino than if it was a white neighborhood, they see their property values go up. So when gentrification happens, that's people in the region reevaluating that neighborhood and saying, actually, this is a good neighborhood. These houses are valuable. The people who own these houses deserve, a high price if they want to sell. And a lot of people, it's true, a lot of people don't care if their property values go up, but a lot of people do want their property values to go up. It is harder for African Americans to own homes in this country than white people. It's harder to get credit. It's harder to just buy a house. But when you do buy a house, disproportionately, it's going to be in a neighborhood with other African Americans, and those neighborhoods are systemically undervalued. When the property values in black neighborhoods go up, we call it gentrification. There's many other ways for people to get assets and get rich without also some people being displaced. And some of the people that win are African American homeowners whose properties were undervalued for a long time, but are now no longer undervalued. They are recognized for the valuable things that they are.
I am running as the progressive candidate in District 6. I have the support of all 5 of the progressive supervisors, as well as the current supervisor, Jane Kim. But more importantly, this club has been a place where I've been able to partner and find a voice and a home for the fight for social and economic justice and racial justice in our city. As a school board member and as the president of the school board, I fought for undocumented students. I fought for LGBT studies, getting the first ever LGBT studies course in a public high school in the country. We have a struggle right now of our city of whether this city is going to be a place that works for the people who live here, low-income people, teachers, families, students, people in the Tenderloin who are wondering if their building is going to be bought and they're going to be evicted. This is the kind of fight that we're going to have here in District 6. And we have the greatest inequality in a city that is one of the most unequal cities in the entire world. That is in stark display in the district that I'm running to represent. Because I believe that we can still solve our problems here in San Francisco, that we're not a city that can say, you know what, it's already gone, the tech companies run things. No, we can still, if we organize ourselves, if we fight so people have a voice, I believe that we can fight back and make this the city that we know it can be. This fight is one of economics, it's one of land use, it's one of who our precious resources are being used for. I believe we need a fighter in District 6 who actually stands with the community, doesn't try to just sort of fight for people who are going to be moving in. Whereas I live in the Tenderloin in a rent-controlled studio. This is my life. I've grown up in the Bay Area. The police aren't protecting the people who live there. Sometimes people who live on the streets. They're actually harassing them. They maybe come around and mess with them a little bit, but they're not actually seeing themselves as accountable to the safety and well-being of those folks. And I will also tell the police they have a responsibility to everyone in our community, including the folks who right now they don't know and may actually see as a threat. So you have to protect those folks and you have to listen to them and care about them. The way you look at how to create change for people when they're facing real problems and understand those problems and then partner with them to navigate a bureaucracy and a system to create change. I think I've done that.
What are your thoughts on cost blockers? Specifically cost blockers?
Peel that shit. Damn, it's time for radical action in this city. And it's beyond time for radical action at the state level. And if they're not going to repeal it at the state level, we need to push the boundaries as far as we can locally.
So I'd just like to echo a lot of what Matt Haney said and wish you all good night. I grew up in San Francisco. I moved here when I was 11 years old. Some of you may have heard my family story. My mom was mentally ill, was able to care for me, and I ended up getting raised by a bunch of families in San Francisco who took me in and let me stay with them. I am running for the Board of Supervisors because I love the city, because it has done so many amazing things for me. It has given me such great opportunities. And we are the center of innovation in the world. We are an economic driver, and in our public sector, which has been the passion of my life, falls down every single day in ways that we can see, large and small, and that is incredibly frustrating and sad to me as someone who loves Monty City. My experience as a lawyer working on housing issues, I think gives me a level of practical knowledge and expertise that would be useful to have on the board. I am passionate, yet I believe that we do need to increase housing at all levels. I am passionate about increasing housing for people who are poor and middle class, and I think that to do that we really need to provide more subsidies, more land, and I will be a passionate advocate for that. And I think that as we grow as a city, and a city that is not growing is dying, we need to make sure that we're making the investments in infrastructure, and transportation, and the things that make the city livable. I would be pretty happy for us to be housing the queer youth in San Francisco already who are homeless, which is a huge number. And we need, we need more off-ramps. We need dramatically expanded capacity for organizations like Larkin Street. And then, and again, it's budgetary priorities, it's finding the revenue sources, it's directing those resources. People freak out when you talk about putting affordable housing development in their neighborhood. But when this is what other affordable housing developments done by this developer look like. And here's how, it activates the street, and here's what we're gonna do on the ground level, and here's how your neighborhood's gonna get better. The conversation shifts. And the reason we're winning right now is we are knocking on these doors and we are having conversations with people that meet them where they are and are not particularly ideological, but talk about the things that are concerning to them, the ways in which the city is failing all of us. And they don't hate homeless people, they're concerned about homeless people, and we can meet them where they are on that. And they recognize that the city needs to grow and that the city needs to invest more and do more for people who can't afford homes, because they feel, frankly, many of them a little bit guilty that they have this house, that they bought when it was worth $20,000 to $30,000, and now they know that if they came to San Francisco today, they wouldn't be able to buy that house. They might not be able to come to San Francisco at all, and so we meet them and talk to them about that, and about transit infrastructure, and about the need to support small business. And those conversations, much more than any ideological kind of appeal, we need your help, we need your money, we need your door knocking skills, we need your calling, and I need your endorsement.